Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ingfijarotul Habibah. My registration number is 2042000 IK4. In this change, I want to presentation about silent way method. Before I start to presentations, I want to say sorry guys if you hear some noise from my place because it's rain today. Okay, I will start my presentation. This unconventional method was developed alongside Afro hairstyles and platform back shoes in 1970 by mathematicians Caleb Categno. The basic method that underlies this approach is simple but potentially quite powerful. In contrast to traditional method, the emphasis is on the student's learning rather than teacher's teaching. In fact, it's not uncommon for the teacher to remain silent for parts of a lesson. The role of the teacher is to direct students' focus, facilitate self-reflection, and provide verbal and non-verbal feedback when it's necessary. Students, on the other hand, are encouraged to speak as much as possible. Why make you decide to use this silent way method? Well, don't be too quick to judge because there are plenty of great reasons at least give this method to try. First, students directed learning. We all know that research says students learn better when they can be active participant in their own learning. So this is really help students to focus and active in this oral learning because they do their learning by themselves. Number two, improve problem solving skills. Without your input, students are forced to figure out all kinds of things on their own. If you let them to study by themselves, they will learn how to find problems and how to solve it. Number three, increase engagement. With learning basic vocabulary and pronunciations can often feel monotone to students. With a silent way, students are engaged in the learning process, discovering words and sounds instead of having these drills into them. Number four, a positive, safe learning environment. Limited input from the teacher means almost no criticism, which means students feel that it's safe to make mistakes, necessary steps in language learning. And the last, it can supplement further student-centered work, including the above features in your students' learning will complement deeper, interactive, and independent work with the language. But there are still the potential problems with the silent way. The silent way is not for everyone, so there is some problems. The first is it might feel strange and scary to some students because the silent way is a new experience for them, so maybe they feel strange or scary if they don't get the materials. Number two is it may be challenging for some students. If a student has an IEP or requires extra coaching or scaffolding due to special needs of any kind, they can really struggle with the silent way. The student needs frequent interactions with their teacher in order to be successful. Number three, students might feel that they are not getting enough feedback because this is a silence, so they can we can say that they study by themselves they don't have much feedback. Number four, progress might look different than with other methods. Advocates of the silent way will tell you that the focus is on learning a few things well rather than covering the material, but the silent way aims for quality rather than quantity. After you know the potential of problems, there is a strategy to make the silent way work for you and your students. First, educate students thoroughly. From the outset about this method and why you using it, once you have achieved students buy-in, you can begin implementing this method without fear of scaring them away. Number two, check in individually with students who need it from free time to time to make sure that they are okay. You can schedule regular meeting times with them or in this secretly during class. This will help them feel like more confident in the class. Number three, give feedback non-verbally. Practice conveying a message with body or gesture and facial expressions. You will be amazed at how much you can communicate to students without saying a word. And last, emphasize quality rather than quantity. Clearly articulate the attaining mastery rather than simply covering everything in the curriculum is the priority. Well, I think enough here on my presentations. If you don't understand or maybe you can hear my voice clearly, please ask me in the class. Sorry for some mistakes. And the last, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.